Hopefully, everybody sees this. Probably only a few people will see this. Doesn't matter. I just need to get this out there. This is something that's important because there's a lot of division in the world right now, and it's leading to a lot of hate. A lot. Be careful by hating any group of people. Don't hate black people. Don't hate Jews. Don't hate Asians. Don't hate Arabs. Don't just hate people as an entire community. No group of people are a monolith. A large, powerful organization that is seen as a single, inflexible entity. Something that is uniform and monolithic or rigid and unchanging. Black people are not a monolith. Jews are not a monolith. Amidst all these different groups that are out there, whether you talk about the Aryan Brotherhood or neo Nazis or any of that mess, you talk about right wing, talk about any of that mess. Doesn't matter. Well, let's remember that amidst all the hate that's being pushed, we're all human beings and there is variation in every community. There's this level of peace that supposedly is going on over in, Israel and Palestine right now, right? There are some Jews that don't believe that Palestine should even exist. There are some Jews that don't believe that Israel should exist. That right there is a sign that there is a variation in that one community. There's variation. You have people that are using this conflict, the issue, the cleansing that's going on in that region of the world in Gaza as their excuse to hate all people that are Jewish. And that's not okay. You have a lot of people in the Jewish community that have been very outspoken about how they feel about what's going on over there and how they are not okay with it any more than anybody else is. Let's remember that. We got a lot of black people that are being hated for what feels like almost no reason. Statistics being put out there that are not even close to being true. Like 50% of all murders of what white people are black people doing it. Like, no, that's a garbage statistic. Be careful about hating any particular group. You shouldn't hate anybody like that. You shouldn't look at somebody and be like, oh, look at the little black hat. I hate that person. No one literally thinks, oh, I hate that person, but people have a lot of anti feelings about people just off bat without even knowing somebody, without knowing anybody. Someone could look at me and see, let's see all this brownness. They see the texture of my hair and just automatically feel fearful or disgust or just resentment towards even being around me just off of that alone. And you have people who feel that same way about white people. That's a thing. You have people who just are anti X, Y, and Z community. We gotta stop doing that in such a mass number. It's not like it's just one or two people doing it. It's a lot of people doing this, and it's a lot of division that doesn't even need to be had. And historically speaking, this leads to nothing good. Anti Semitism leads to nothing good. You got a few bad apples doing the worst of the possible things you could do. That shouldn't be held against everybody. You got a few black people. There's the whole notion of a young Ukrainian woman being stabbed to death on the bus by a black man. And there are people using that as an excuse to have a distaste for all of us. Meanwhile, there's a black man stabbed on the bus by a white man, and should I start hating all white people for that? Should I start feeling fearful around all white people because a white guy might sit behind me someday and stab me? A white kid might come to, my place of work or wherever and then just shoot everybody up. No. All these school shooters are outliers against the general masses. They're outliers. They're not the majority. All these people marching around talking about they will not replace us and so forth. They're not the majority. There's a growing number of them, unfortunately, but they're not the majority. All these Charlie Kirk wannabes that are trying to instigate arguments and whatnot, going to people's campuses and places of work talking about blah, 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 prove me wrong. Like, someone's supposed to give a rat's ass about proving you wrong. We need to take a step back as a society and as individuals. Be careful about being anti-Semitic, about being racist, about being misogynistic or even misogynistic. That goes both ways. People feeling some kind of way about all men because they were dragged through the mud by one man, or they're living vicariously through other women who have been through, hell and back because of some guy. Historically speaking, most men are not going to be your problem, women. All right, ladies? The vast majority of us are not going to be your problem. We're going to be your allies. And vice versa. For dudes that are being toxic towards women, incels, as some people would call them. F-boys, as other people would call them. Most women are not going to be your problem. While I was in college, I was walking to this place called the Student Union. I was just heading there after all my classes. And on average, I will typically hold the door open for people that are around me if I'm about to go through the door and I see somebody else there. It's just being polite. I did this because I could feel somebody behind me while I was walking. I hold the door open. There's a girl behind me. I'm expecting her to just walk through the door. So that way I can then walk through the same door and go on about my life. What does she do? She uses that as an opportunity to fight the patriarchy. I didn't know this girl. She didn't know me. I had never done anything wrong by her. And she's going off on me. Because I held the door open for her. And honestly, inside, I was feeling some kind of way. I had so many feelings in that moment. And I made it a point to just restrain myself from saying anything. Because her going off and me going off are not going to do anything good. Clearly, she had been hurt by somebody. And she was just looking for any dude to take it out on. Or she'd been brainwashed, been indoctrinated by feminazis. But ladies, no matter what's happened to you, and dark things can happen to people, all men are never going to be your problem. We're just not. I could have responded in a different way versus just standing there, letting her get everything off her chest, and then going to the fucking door. I could have responded some kind of way, and I didn't. Because I know a lot of other women who wouldn't have done that. I hold the door open, and they simply go to. You don't have to say thank you. Just go to the door. And a lot of women would respond that way. That's all. They would keep it simple. They would just go to the door. And that's all you got to do. Don't be harboring feelings and then looking to take it out on anybody who's from that particular group. Jews do not deserve to be treated like crap and have to live fearful because they're all being blamed for what's going on in Gaza. Most Jews have nothing to do with what's going on over there. Most Jews are honestly good people. Most white people are good people. Most white people aren't going to be looking to dangle me from a tree. There are sundown towns in modern day America. Sundown towns are not gone. They still exist and they're in every single state. But they are not the majority. So I'm not going to look at most white people like they're automatically my enemy. We got to stop dividing ourselves. We got to stop villainizing each other. It is so not necessary, and nothing good ever comes from it. You look at history, we're on a fast track to a lot of hate crimes. They're going to get more and more violent with each one. The days of lighting cars up on fire with people still inside of them, those days aren't that far back. You don't have to go that far back in history to get to those days here in America. That is something that Jews have to deal with. The days of people that look like me dangling from trees on a regular fucking basis, those days are not that far back. Let's not go backwards. We're on a fast track heading in the wrong direction. We're letting domestic affairs lead us there and foreign affairs lead us there. We gotta stay in the present, be realistic, recognize there's division in every group. There are good people and bad people in every group. And more often than not, the majority of any group is gonna be good. Honestly, good people, good men, good women, good children, good elders, just good people. I do believe that most of humanity is humane. But we allow the outliers, we allow the worst that humanity has to offer to be the loudest people in the room and just instill chaos. Most Hispanics are good people. Even the ones that are here illegally. On them, I'll say, if you want to deport them to country A, B, or C, go for it. I understand it. If they're here illegally, they're here illegally. But be humane about it. Don't be hateful about it where you're joining ICE or you're helping ICE because you're resentful or because you're racist or because you're nationalist, an extreme nationalist. If you're going to deport somebody, whatever. Don't put them in a cage in the process. That part is unnecessary. If a country has laws, it's got laws, but you don't have to be off the wall about how you go about carrying out those laws. There's just so much division. We're in 2025, a few months away from 2026. And we just might be more divided today than what we were before the Civil Rights era. That doesn't even make sense. We have the privilege of the internet. You don't even have to go to a library and read books anymore. We have the privilege of having everything you could ever think of right here. We have smartphones. Use them. Be smart. Periodically, just look up random events in history. You're bound to learn 1,000,001 different things in the process. Don't wait for to be taught something in school. And if you never taught it in school, then you just never know. We should be further progressed as a society by now. I'm not expecting human beings to ever be perfect. Ever. I feel like we're all a little prejudiced at times. That we can all be a little racist at times. All of us, even the best of us, have that fleeting thought that you never thought you might have. But don't lean into those thoughts because you're feeling some kind of way today or yesterday. If something bad happens, take a step back, breathe, analyze the situation. Remember that, there's multiple layers to everything. There's multiple levels to everything. And rather than escalate, mess up because, people from this group have done X, Y, and Z, There was this one white serial killer preying on black girls. So now all white people are demons. No. They're not all demons. A few are. You're Jeffrey Dahmers. Because serial killers are not a thing of the past, they are a thing of the present. There's a genocide going on in a certain part of the world. Correction, there's a few of them. But they're being carried out by the few, not the many. You look at the people that are doing it, you look at their general communities, it's the few that manage to become the loudest and do the most. But they do not represent everybody. So let's be careful about being racist. Let's be careful about being anti-Semitic. Let's be careful about being Islamophobic, misogynistic. Let's be careful about being ageism. Ageism is a real problem. You got grown men and grown women that will have relationships with other grown men and grown women. They'll all be adults, all be consenting, but because one is in their, let's say, upper 20s and the other was in their 50s, the one that's in their 50s is automatically a pedo bear. We'll say that word. They're automatically something really bad. They're automatically a groomer. We'll go with that. That person in their 20s is not stupid. That is a grown adult. Let's stop with the ageism. If somebody in their mid to upper 20s or even their low 20s, if you're in your 20s, you've lived a little bit. You may not be the most mature grown up person, but you've lived long enough. You are nobody's idiot. You've lived long enough. You know exactly what you're doing if you're dating somebody that is 20, 30, 40 years older than you. You are not a child. And we got to stop treating grown adults like they're children just because there's a massive age gap. Them older people, they know what they're doing. These younger people, they know what they're doing. Let adults do what they're going to do. Let them do what they're going to do. Something really important to remember, men and women are equals. But we're equal in the ways that we are different. When it comes to a grown man and woman, they could be born the same day, same time, same hospital, be raised in the same neighborhood, all the same conditions. The guy is probably going to grow up to be taller, heavier, and have greater bone density than the woman. So if they were to get into a fight, that guy could probably beat the crap out of that woman. And I mean, he could probably beat the mess out of her. Really physically abuse her. But conversely, women are equal to men because they tend to have the mental advantage. A teenage girl can manipulate the crap out of a grown man easily. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. A lot of grown men are too prideful to admit that. That a teenage girl might be just as mature as a man in his 20s. She might be just as intelligent and probably better at manipulating you than you are manipulating her. Nobody should be trying to manipulate anybody. That shouldn't be a thing. But the reality is that it's going to happen. Somebody's going to manipulate somebody more often than not. And it's usually women. Whether they're trying to manipulate you to help you be a better version of yourself, or they're trying to manipulate you to make you a better puppet for themselves. See what I'm saying? Manipulation isn't always necessarily a bad thing. Grooming is not always a bad thing. It has such a negative connotation and annotation at this point in history, but it's not always a bad thing. You're trying to, it could be in the direction of really trying to help that person move in a better direction where they are a better version of who they can be. But that's just it though. Women have a mental advantage while men have a physical advantage. That's where we're equal. Growing up under the same exact conditions, but women are naturally better on one end while men are naturally better on the other end. It's not to say a woman can't be stronger than a man, or a man can't be more intelligent or smarter or quick thought or manipulative or whatever than a woman. But on average, men tend to be a little on the slow end until we start getting into our upper 20s. It's not even say you're stupid. It's just compared to a woman of the same age, you're probably, she's probably ahead of you. Most people do not want to admit that. Just like most women don't want to admit that, men just on average really are taller and stronger and whatnot. Well, I could do anything a man could do. Hey, with enough effort, sure. Why not? But just naturally speaking, without doing anything extra, you're both just doing the exact same things throughout your respective lives, taking the exact same paths. That guy is going to be bigger and stronger, and she's going to be smarter. She might let you think you're smarter than her, but low key, she's probably smarter than you. We're equals. So it's just remember these things about the people that you're around. If you feel some kind of way about Jews because of what's going on to Palestinians, remember that not every person who's Jewish, I should say, is in line with the things that have been happening, the things that might continue to happen. Don't allow yourself to slowly and gradually become anti-Semitic. Don't start looking for problems with the Jewish community because you're starting to feel angry. What is happening is a horrible thing. Everybody knows what's happening at this point. We all know. Everybody sees it. It is horrible. But not everybody's responsible. A young woman is stabbed and murdered on a bus. But not every black man is responsible. A black girl's life is cut short in Mexico on vacation with a group of white friends. But not every white person is represented by those people, that group of people. I don't think I can be more clear on this. Keep perspective on things. Don't forget distinction. And just be decent to each other. You meet someone brand new, completely new person in your life, and you see them wearing a hijabi. That hijab should not be an indicator for you feeling some kind of way about them because you feel that Dearborn, Michigan, or some other community down in Texas or Ohio is being taken over by Muslims. Most Muslims are not bad people. Some are. Most are not. If you feel some kind of way about an entire group of people, take a step back and ask yourself why. Why do you feel some kind of way about an entire group of people, an entire community of people? Why do you feel some kind of way about all black people, all men, all Jews, all Muslims, all Asians, all Hispanics? Why do you feel some kind of way about everybody? Are you the problem? Probably. If you feel some kind of way about an entire community of people, you're the problem. There is no good excuse for anti-Semitism. No good excuse for racism. The moment you feel some kind of way about an entire group of people, you're the problem. Word up in the Mormon community is that if you're not super white, preferably blonde hair, blue eyes, you're not the chosen people. Mormons don't represent all white people. They don't. I'm going to say it. Mormons are extremists. There's a decent number of them too. But they do not represent all white people. So while they may view me as being cursed for having darker skin, I don't hold that over all white people. They are the problem. I'm in it there because, going on 25 minutes. What else is there to even say? I look like a mess. I'm wearing a lounge shirt and I'm just chilling. Hair looks like an absolute mess. What's even going on here? But that's okay. And remember the more important things. For you ladies, y'all don't need to wear a bunch of makeup or get any kind of plastic surgery. You don't need a top job or, BBL. You don't need none of that stuff. You don't need a nose job. If you got slim nose, broad nose, high nose, low nose, who cares? Embrace what you are. Embrace what you have. And learn to love yourself. And then extend that love for yourself to the people around you, including the ones you don't know. Don't be feeling some kind of negative way towards an entire community of people. And don't be feeling no kind of negative way towards yourself. Some of the most hateful, angry people in the world are people that just really don't like themselves. And so they project. If you look like a mess, embrace the crap out of yourself anyway. If you look like a mess, continue to live your day anyway. Go on about your day. Go on about your life. I could have stopped and, let me go and pick my hair out or get it braided real quick or something. Hey, maybe even cut it off. Let me go and change my clothes and put on a suit. Put like a poster or something behind me. Or maybe let me just prioritize a real message that needs to be put out there. Some people are already saying this. More people need to say it. If you think nobody's going to see your video, who cares? Make the video anyway and put it out there. If one person sees this, cool. If 1,000 or 1,000,000 people see this, even better. Don't be racist. Don't be anti-Semitic. Don't be Islamophobic. Don't be ageist. Don't be sexist, genderist. Don't be any ist or ism. That's it. Have a good day.